Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you in a minute a couple of items that I purchased from the Burberry Spring collection. But first of all, I just wanted to say a huge and heartfelt thank you to the many of you who responded to my plea in my last video at the end to thumbs up if you liked it. I had probably well over double the maximum number of thumbs up I've ever had on a video I've posted on YouTube, and so many positive and encouraging comments, and I was really grateful for that because I thought twice about making the plea. I never quite like it when other YouTubers do it as a matter of course, although I do understand why, particularly with the current problems we're having in retaining viewers. And I was particularly touched because I made my plea right at the end of my 10 minutes or so, and it made it obvious that a lot of you had actually watched through to the end, which I was quite surprised about because my analytics tend to show that a lot of people don't, and I totally get that because I often skim through videos myself. So I was really touched and grateful. Thank you so much. So Burberry, it's a brand I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with, both as a fashion brand and more recently since they've started producing makeup. As lots of you will know, it is a British brand with a background in quite traditional, classic and kind of country orientated background. You know, they're famous for their trench coat and Wellington boots and things like that. Well, they're not famous for that, but they've done that traditionally. For those of us like me who are kind of well into middle age and can remember Burberry over a number of decades now, they've had quite a few transformations, and part of my mixed feelings are that kind of in my most fashion conscious phase in the kind of late 80s through 90s and early noughties, the brand became a bit naff in a way. It swung from being this very traditional, slightly stodgy, boring brand with this one classic, the trench, and suddenly the famous Burberry check was just everywhere, and there were lots of counterfeits of it, and it was worn by people who, snobbily, one might say, didn't necessarily have the sort of taste many of us would aspire after. And so that the brand was kind of sullied by that, but it has really been rescued in recent years since Christopher Bailey became the CEO and chief designer. It's now very well thought of on a fashion basis. I really like some of their pieces, although they're very pricey. I do think they kind of overdo the checks in the many scarves, which still kind of worn too much. And they branched out into makeup. The makeup is quite hard to come by. It's not widely stocked in department stores, although you can get it, I think, in most big cities at, you know, one or other department store, and they have quite a comprehensive online service, although I have to say I have had problems with their online ordering. And one of the difficulties with the online ordering, obviously, is the colour matching, which one of my bugs with them is it isn't consistent across the brand. So, for example, if you've established that, let's say 03 is your shade in one of the foundations, it isn't necessarily going to be your shade in another form of that foundation, that kind of thing. But what I like about them is they definitely are geared in their cosmetics for classic English complexions. So there's plenty there for very pale, cool tone people like me to find that will please them. Some people might find that they're a bit too traditional. There's nothing too out there or exciting. The quality is very good. The quality of their packaging is exceptional, but they are pricey. So there, I've gone for 4.5 minutes and not shown you anything at all. Here's the typical packaging, which is absolutely beautiful to my mind, of a Burberry compact. This is the Silk and Bloom blush palette for spring 2017. They're weighty, so they're not ideal if you cart a lot around in your handbag or travel. They come with the little standard pouches. This one has a little brush in it, which you can see I haven't used. The surrounding packaging is always in this famous Burberry trench colour, but this one has a limited edition sleeve which echoes the product that it came in, like that. So now let's open. Let's get it the right way around. Ta-da! I saw this online and ordered it. I just thought it was so pretty. Some of the shimmer is an overlay, which I have already kind of rubbed off in places. But you can see this kind of shadowing of the honeycomb. That's not a trick of the light. That's the kind of darker powder round the engraving of this kind of honeycomb, or I don't know whether it's the pane of a window with the flowers in. It's just exquisite because it has kind of depth and structure. I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful collector's piece, and I'm definitely going to keep it in my collection. Now, how is the blush itself? Part of me almost can't bear to use it because it's so pretty, and I'm generally pretty good about this, even with these limited edition pieces. But I thought, you know, this was going to be a real favourite because there's that kind of slightly metallic shimmer in parts of it, and it definitely is there. Let's try and swatch a bit. You can see it's coming off a bit shinier on the monitor than in real life. There we have it. Not hugely pigmented, but pigmented enough. A mid to cool toned pink. It's definitely looking lighter. There, you're getting a slightly better impression of it there. And there is quite a lot of shine. Very blendable, no fallout. I've only worn it probably twice, and it had a kind of okay to medium last. It wasn't super long lasting. I did find I needed to reapply later in the day. It's a very flattering colour for me, just exactly the sort of blush colour I like to wear, particularly at this time of year. So I do really like it. If you're buying it purely to wear it, I don't know if it's worth the price. I don't think it lasts as well as a Chanel blush, for example. But I do think it's just an exquisite piece. I'm going to say it was about £45, so quite pricey, but really beautiful, I think. So I did love it. There was nothing else really directly in the collection. They have brought out what I think is a new version of their liquid lip velvets in matte. I haven't had any of the previous velvets. I have had some of their lipsticks, which I like. I haven't had any of the liquid products, I don't think. So I bought this one, again, kind of sight unseen in the matte, thinking it would kind of go with the spring look. This one is called even Bright Crimson. And to be honest, it's a bit too bright for me. Again, the packaging, very nice. I have to tell you, I have tried it once, and I'm not going to keep it. It's very, 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 very drying. Because it's a bright colour, it's quite unforgiving when it's applied. You really need a lip pencil to kind of tidy up. It's got the ordinary kind of sponge Dauphin wand to apply. But you know, if you've watched a few of my videos, I'm not a great fan of matte on the lips, simply because I think I'm too old to wear them very successfully. I like a bit of forgiving shine, and I haven't had great success with any of these liquid lipsticks, really. It is significantly more drying than the Chanel lip inks that I've talked about, and as you know, I'm not a huge fan of, but I know I'm in a minority there, and a lot of people like those and find them sufficiently moisturising. This one is significantly, on the one try that I had with it, significantly more drying. So I wouldn't say to you, rush to get these if you're in doubt. But it may be that some of you have tried others in the range. I can't even get it back in the box. And have other opinions. So it is, literally a kind of one-off for me. And I think actually in retrospect it was a silly choice because I'm not, a huge fan, as I say, of those lip products. So I just thought you'd like to see the beautiful, beautiful Burberry blush. I think it's probably the prettiest of the spring products I've looked at. I'm not sure it's my absolute favourite, but if you're a collector, it is really pretty. So until next time, bye for now.